Ronix Premium Quality.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening and welcome to Breaking Barriers here on IBN Channel 8. Of course, for those of you who did not see the program last week, yes, I was live on air and I'm back live on air again. And let me tell you something. Ever since I started this program, since inception, real Tanti started watching this program. And plenty Tanti continue to watch this program. And on behalf of myself, my crew, and everybody else, I would just like to thank all them Tanti and them who continue to call me. Greatly appreciated. God bless you. And of course, you know, things are going to be steamy tonight as usual. I have with me my co-host, Mr. Jagisa. Good evening to you, Mr. Jagisa.
Good evening. Hello, good night to all of our viewers. And it's always a pleasure to be here. We have a lot to talk about. Plenty, and I don't think our 1.5 is enough.
No. But first off, an important matter that I want to deal with. And of course, Mr. Jagisa, I will leave you in the wings for you to organize because I know your specialty is going to be put to the test this afternoon, especially with injunctions, filling, etc. But let me get down to the brass tacks. Yesterday, a war criminal, a man responsible for the murder of over 100 people, one of the dirtiest, stinkiest, nastiest leaders in the whole world, a man they call Benjamin Netanyahu, who is wanted, right? Who have arrest warrant and countries are ready to take him in, had to fly a different route because they needed to get permission, airspace permission to fly this animal over certain waters. And this animal, this beast, this dog, was the first person that this orange-haired donkey would invite to the White House. Donald Trump we're talking about because there's no other orange-haired donkey. And you know what is shocking, boy? What is shocking is that I never thought that I live in 50-something years and I would see what I see in. You talking about America, the US, supplying 2,000-pound bombs to drop on children and pregnant women, right? Killing innocent people, flattening cities in Gaza, all over Palestine. And then this orange-haired donkey come up now and saying, what? That America will take control of Palestine, and that is the orange-haired donkey day. Well, here is a different color today, right? But America will take control of Palestine. The Palestine people will just go somewhere like Jordan and Egypt and wherever they are to go, they can just go, get away. If they are dead, they are dead. And here what happening, America will build over the entire Palestine. And they will build it over for people of the world, not for the people of Gaza. That orange-haired donkey say that they will build it over for the people of the world. So you will see resorts going up, casinos, because everybody have problem with Gaza having a nice beach. But not only that, what is shocking is that Gaza have tons and tons of gas. And that is what they want to get their hands on. But I want you to listen to the actual audio when the orange-haired donkey spoke to the criminal. Listen to this.
If not Jordan, Egypt, what other countries you think might accept Palestinians from Gaza?
Well, I think Jordan and Egypt will. I know they've spoken about it with you, and they say they're not going to accept. I say they will. But I think other countries will accept also. I think that Gaza maybe is a demolition site right now. If you look at Gaza, it's all, I mean, there's hardly a building standing, and the ones that are going to collapse. You can't live in Gaza right now, and I think we need another location. I think it should be a location that's going to make people happy. You look over the decades, it's all death in Gaza. This has been happening for years. It's all death. If we can get a beautiful area to resettle people permanently in nice homes and where they can be happy and not be shot, not be killed, not be knifed to death like what's happening in Gaza. And right now you have in Gaza a very dangerous situation in terms of explosives all over the place. In terms of tunnels that nobody knows who's in the tunnel. The whole thing is a mess. And I think that if we can resettle, and I believe we can do it in areas where the leaders currently say no. I mean, I've been saying that with Mexico, having to do with the border and all of the things, and you saw what happened, 10,000 soldiers, and they're going to do a good job. I really believe that, and I believe Canada is going to do a good job also. They said the same thing, and then they did something much.
So, my boy talking about how it have buildings that falling down. It is because of your government, the Democrats, the Republican, whoever the hell they are. It is because of them and the bombing that they did together with the sicko you had sit down next to you, which is Netanyahu. Together with both of you, billions of dollars was spent bombing children, blowing up buildings. And now you're talking about what? It have unexploded bombs. And America want to go in now to make sure that it's safe. After over 100,000 people was murdered, and you all are responsible for that? Let me tell you something. I've always said that for me, there are people in Trinidad and Tobago, when they face unjust treatment, they come to me. I don't care if you're Muslim, Hindu, or Christian, I will stand with you. But one of the things I want you, my viewers, to understand is that I am a Muslim. I am a proud Muslim. I am not a hypocrite. I will never choose to be a hypocrite. And one of the things that I want to tell you is this. If I have to help Gaza financially by taking food from my mouth and making sure that they rebuild, I am going to do it. I don't care if I lost my visa. They could kiss my black elbow. I don't care. It don't bother me. Because at the end of the day, you must stand up for what is right. I have seen too many children with bullet holes through their eyes. I have seen children with missing limbs, courtesy them two criminals who are sitting down there, and Biden, and the other one, Kamala, and the government pass in the US. And all you're telling me that I must sit down and not say something? No. And this is why the leaders in Trinidad and Tobago need to stand up now. And I want to congratulate a set of people. I want to congratulate Imtiaz Mohammed from the IMG, who is one of the persons who always speak out. Mirza Ali Muhammad, one of the persons who always talking out. Maulana Soleimani, always speaking out. Maulana Maqsood, always speaking out. Imam Shaul, always speaking out. This is not something we could sit down and digest. This is not something we're going to take. And I want in my last minute, I just want to remind people that this is not a Muslim issue. This is a humanitarian issue, where you had over 2.5 million people, and now you're hearing talk it only have 1.5, 1.6 million people. Where did 900,000 gone? There are still people and children, babies, under the rubble, and nobody's going to be able to identify them because they are now bones. Some of them have turned to dust. And we're going to sit down and we're going to just say, that is not our problem, that we have bigger donkey to deal with in Trinidad? No. At the end of the day, we could do both. So I just want to tell Trinidad, and I want to tell members of my community and people who are vested in this whole issue, that look, time for we to stand up. And you see all them donkey Maulana and them who just tell all protesting haram? Them say Maulana, The young 18-year-old girl, not haram. That 18-year-old girl that they're counseling, she haram. Collecting money to give people for certificate and they're selling pork. That is haram. But protesting and stand up for what is right is haram. Now what I tell all of you who want to be blind sheep and follow that type of dotish thinking and that type of ideology from the Deobandi, that is all you, not me. I don't subscribe to that because for some of them people, money is the key to everything. Here what happening? Parda, you need to have parda, but when you're doing business and you're making money, parda disappear. You don't see them fellas and them, they don't know about parda. And this is not an attack on anybody. It is an attack on hypocrisy. Too many blasted hypocrites with long gong and big beard. And coming and telling you what? Boy, the Prophet never used to protest. The Prophet never used to drive Mercedes-Benz either. The Prophet never used to eat a bowl of food so big and his belly hang out so big. There are many things the Prophet never used to do. Technology was something the Prophet, peace be upon him, was never introduced to. So let's come now and get real now and we have to get serious because while we looking to play the fool, children dying, people being murdered. Well, I get me vexed tonight now. So you know what? I'm going to take a break and Richard, let me just deal with one thing now. Before I introduce you and you go just take over from there.
It's your show, you know, boss.
No, it's not my show, it's we show. I just bamboo number 2. I ain't even noticed something taking place.
I had a little traffic to come in.
Wait. What traffic you see?
I see some construction going on, some repair work going on.
In bamboo number 2?
In bamboo number 2. Yeah.
What period are you
In February, Valentine's Day.
But, Richard, that wasn't the answer I wanted for me, you know, Brad.
It's an election year. It's an election
right,
year.
good.
It's an election year.
It's an election year.
Yeah.
Richard,
like Valentine's Day?
We have photos, right? We have photos to show the paving and that taking place up the road. Any little photo, I'd send you something. I don't know if you load it up as yet. Or if you load, all right, suppose that you ain't get it as it. All right. What is interesting, Mr. Jagisa, is that the area that they're paving is not the worst part of bamboo.
Well, when I was coming, I was telling Daddy, the part that they're paving is higher than the rest of the street. The part that they're paving is higher than the rest of the street.
90% of that road was good, and all they needed to do was patch 1 or 2 areas. A lie, Zakir?
I like.
Look, my Sunday, he bent 2 BMW a minute, he know. Right?
Have you been tree?
I bent 3. Right? What I talking about, right? Right, anyway, right? Richard, I don't have a problem. The contractor, Calco get their work. God bless them, they get their work. But my problem is, if you go, and I'm sorry I didn't get a picture in front of the school. Pregnant woman that's passed through the road and give birth at the end of it. That is to tell you how bad that road is, Richard. But you see his election. But I have something to show you. You have a slide with what Rohan Sinanan say about the Chase Village highway there, Justin. Right. Take a read. I zoom in there, guys. Zoom in. Use the zoom. The Solomon Hochoy Highway expansion project is expected to be completed by March 2025. When this was supposed to be completed? Not since last year?
Since last year.
Minister of Works and Transport, I hear they say, Rohan Sinan gave an update on the project in the Parliament on Wednesday. He said a main challenge is working on a site which is being used, as there is inconvenience, experience, and the persistent risk of known and unknown factors retarding progress. But man, I travel all over the world. And let me tell you only, look my brother there too. While you on an interchange, they repairing the interchange.
Correct.
And they're expanding it.
Correct.
Trinidad, and you happening, nobody interfering with them because the area they're working on blocked off.
Correct.
So we're going to take that lie just so?
No, it's excuses that the PNM brain engine has come up with to fool the people. But it's about time that the people see sense from nonsense. He may have stood up and look. I think this is your bamboo video. Yeah.
That bamboo.
Yeah.
Now, that area we're watching there, where the steamroller park up, on the left-hand side, we actually repaired at a bamboo residence paid $22,000 for pitch and for tar, and we repaired that ourselves. So you see what going on there? That is it? That's the only one? Right, okay, that'll work. Right, so you were saying, Richard?
Yeah, it's nonsense that they come to lie to the public and give excuses why they fail to deliver. Now, this is an election year, so what they're going to do is come up with more excuses and extend time on all of the projects and so on, and pretend and boast as though, they're going to have a lot of ribbon cutting, road paving, a lot of lights in savannas and so on, and they're going to cheer themselves on. But the truth is, people have to see take off their blinders and see sense from nonsense. And this is a failed government. This is a failed administration. Something as simple as road works. The Minister of Works and Transport telling people, oh, it's too hard because they're using the road while they're paving. Nonsense. So you didn't know that before you started the job? And in any event, as Injan correctly pointed out, nobody driving on the road while you're doing the work. And how long that project going on for now?
Over a year plus.
Over a year.
But not only that, Richard, they choose to do most of the work during the day when the road have traffic.
Correct.
When you pass any night, they do anything else, see Sukuya. Which is sometimes it is look like somebody's member of parliament on the opposition side, but I'll leave that right there. Right? But I want to show you next bit here, Richard. Justin, the fishing facility, the pit here with the fishing facility. Richard, I want you to guess how much that costs. Now, I want to show you something, Richard. What's the size of the guard boot? And the size of the guard boot is probably about 8 feet, right?
Right.
Now, that is a fishing facility. So, therefore, that ain't have no 2-3 floors.
Right.
All that is a fancy shed with 4 different roofs.
Open.
Because a fishing facility, you may have cold storage in there.
Right.
That is the only thing you may have. Correct? What is the cost of this? And to concrete that whole area, it will cost you more than $1 million.
2.3 million.
That building and everything? 2.3. Zaki, how much that cost? Make a guess. Do fast. We on here now.
The real is 200 million.
No. A serious guess. Talk fast.
I would say about
8 million?
About 8 years.
Jagisa, what do you say?
About 20 million.
How much?
The government about 20 million.
20 million. Moody?
Nah, about 3 million.
3 million. Ashmead?
No, it's what the government paid. I said 25 million.
60 million plus.
$60 million?
$60 million for that cow shed.
I know.
$60 million.
$60 million for that piece of crap. And we sit down and nobody has said nothing about that. Eh? I show you here nobody object to that.
No, I haven't heard or read anything.
What we doing? I have a partner who's a fisherman. And I tell him to go and take pictures. I want pictures of the roof. I want the brand of galvanize they use. I want the brand of nail they use. Richard, in an election year, right? We're supposed to be monitoring everything because we know what is happening in election year. Every dollars is go all over the place and nobody will question nothing. But for $60 million, you could have got a 4-story building. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, agreed.
So what are you doing about it?
With elevator.
So what you going to do about that?
I had to get, I was just a lawyer, lawyers is only file based on instructions.
Well, I need the instructions. So Zaki will give you instructions
No
this time.
problem.
Right, Mr. Jagisa?
You want to go to the first break first?
Yeah, what?
And then we get...
Yes, let us take our first. I have any other slides that I sent to you, Justin? Did I? Oh yes, just to let you know, what happens is that for the project we're doing, we brought in about 60, 70 air conditioned units. So what happens is that what I did, I brought in 12, 18, and 24,000 BTU units extra, and we are selling it more or less at cost because we paid about $35,000 in rent and demurrage. So if you need an air conditioned unit, contact me tomorrow, please, because a lot of the units already sold out, and we have now started to advertise them. And this is a top-of-the-line brand. And one of the things, let me tell you something. You see when things come in nice, pretty-looking package like that? It is a good product because if a company could spend money on packaging, imagine what they could do with the product on the inside. All right? So you can check more tomorrow. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. I am Inshan Ishmael, one of your hosts, and of course, you can contact me several ways. One of them is through my email, breakingbarriers@gmail.com, or my cellular number, 684-4762. I get that glitch in the matrix there just now, boy. 684-4762. We'll be back right after this break.
He's kind of look like Morpheus.
Introducing the finest selection from premium deli and meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronex's premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
And before I begin, I think Injan had something he wanted to say.
Are you looking, you're looking, Justin, you have to check your focus on that camera. The focus is totally off. Richard is looking like a big blur.
Well,
and apparently you're not seeing that in the studio. Yeah, what happened is that Richard, I tell Richard that he looking blurred, and Richard put on his glasses. Richard, what really went on, boy?
I had
Come on,
see if I really looking blurred.
Yes, check your focus there for me, please, because yes, what happened is that Nazim was supposed to be on air with us tonight, but what happened is that he can't make it. He's a bit under the weather, and as most of you probably are aware, who going through the same thing, menopause is a difficult thing. So what happened is that, for Nazim, who going through that whole process and more, we wish him a speedy recovery, and God bless him, and he will be back with us soon, right? Because what happened is that at the end of the day, we will change the name of this program to Triple Threat. And you can't name it Triple Threat if you have 2 people. You got to name it Double Trouble.
Yes. Now, you go talk about my Uncle Nazim, so boy.
Nice. I grew up with my brother. Listen, man, if you grew up with 9 brothers, you are accustomed being the black sheep, and me, I was the darkest one in the family, so I was literally the black sheep. You understand? So, Richard, I leave it over to you now because I see you have a big file there. And they're looking like a file to sharpen cutlass.
Inshan, it have plenty things to talk about, boy. It have vessels sinking, it have petrol jam, it have whether or not Trinidad politicians invest in Petrotram last year. It have file on all kind of thing. It have documents where certain senior counsel in 2024 register company to bring in oil. It have real thing to talk about, but not tonight. Tonight.
No. It have many things you talk about, but not tonight. Not tonight.
Tonight, we will deal with this fiasco, this ridiculous, this nonsense going on in the TTPS. And let me start off by saying that Rowley and his administration's attempt to peddle this lie that they have nothing to do with this fiasco is utter nonsense. It is Rowley and his government who brought Erla, who positioned and propositioned Erla to be the commissioner of police. It is Rowley and his government that insisted that Erla should be given an extension in her tenure. It is Rowley and his government who approved an increase in Erla's salary and now want to distance himself from the fiasco. That is nonsense. The truth of the matter is, the reality is that Rowley's administration is responsible for this fiasco. Because it's not just Erla, you know. It's not just Erla. It's every single officer name jumping up now. Is Smith, and we will get to Smith. Is Smith, Martin.
That is the same man whose name is rhyme with Spit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Martin. Is Benjamin. All of these people, all of these police officers are there because the PNM want them there. Mm-hmm. They collect taxpaying dollars as salary because the PNM want that. So I didn't promote, appoint, and anoint Smith and Martin and Erla. That was Rowley. So this nonsense about he not involved in, and you know what's worse? Insha, you know what's worse? Imagine he is the chairman of the National Security Council, and in an interview he tells the public, well, I read about it in the papers, you know. I read about Erla getting arrested and detained in the papers, you know. What lies, the foolishness, the nonsense. And are they accepting that? Nah. The day coming to change that. The day coming to remove him. The day coming to depose not only him, but his entire cabinet. Because where is the Minister of National Security? Senior and junior, junior, senior. Where is the Attorney General who loves to call a press conference? Where is the Minister of National Security who tell the country go and cook in coal pot and ride bike? Where is the junior Minister of National Security who is in line to be anointed Prime Minister? Where are all of these people? They're silent. They're quiet. Where are all of these people who are in charge, who caused this fiasco? They're quiet. Right? We're not hearing from them. Stuart would like to choke him out. If you ask Heinz a question, you want to choke him out. If you ask Roger Monroe a question, you want to choke him out. All of a sudden, you're looking for somebody to answer questions, and he's silent, he's quiet, he's missing. What stupidness is that? So let me get on to brass tacks. Let me get on to brass tacks now. The same way they went and they hold Erla, the same way Erla now, when due process is done and said and done, Erla go have a case for malpros and false imprisonment. It's the same way they do in the people of this country that all the time.
Yeah, I passed through that 7 times.
8.
8 times.
They're doing that in this country all the time. All if this is new, all if this is fresh behavior. This is the behavior that this Rowley-led government does promote. This is the behavior that the Rowley-led government does push through the ranks of the TTPS. This is what they like. This is what they want.
Mr. Jagisa, I just want to interject 1 second there as you're on the TTPS. I'm sorry to take away from your train of thought.
Go ahead.
Are you aware that about 4 months ago, a carload of police officers showed up at our compound in Baraka grounds?
Yes.
Are you aware what was...
Without warrant, without reasonable cause, without justification.
Are you aware of what the reason for the carload of police officers being there was?
No official reason was given when we asked, but what...
Let me tell you. The senior officer who knows me very well asked for me by name and asked if I was there. And he left his contact number. And I recorded that conversation. And that senior officer, the first thing he did when I contacted him, he said, Ishmael, I apologize. I said, what's going on? He said, but your partner. Your partner. I said, who? He said, your partner who gave you trouble and your partner who set you up. I said, who, Smith? He said, yes, your partner. Send we to find out if the barrier that you have by Baraka grounds legal. A carload of police officers and a senior was sent, right, to try and intimidate people. And I have it recorded. So I challenge, Spitty Smitty, I challenge him any day. Let me take it to court and I will play that clip. So when you could use senior officers to go after citizens of this country with a carload of police, and you sit down next to the commissioner, here what's happening? Let me do you a favor. Justin, call the number I give you. Tonight,
it's pressure.
Is Lati Mangi.
Yeah.
Call the number now I give you. I call in a big number. Right? Justin, you ready? Let it ring inside. See when my nose flare up? Hey, Zaki, you didn't get my number? Give them the number, boy. Oh, God, use that real quick, watch me. Justin, here what's happening? I'm sending you the number right now. We waiting for this thing to ring inside. Right, here we know, I send it to Justin one time. Right, so Justin, I now send you that number, let it ring inside now. This is the technology we have here, man. We could send a message now on a crusade reach in less than a minute, There's no fax sending here, Long time, you used to have to write a fax. Wait for a fax tone. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, good evening. DCP Benjamin?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Good evening to you, Pastor. How are you, sir? Good evening to you, Commissioner.
Good day, how are you doing?
Inshan Ishmael here from IBN Channel 8, host of Breaking Barriers. I'm calling you live on air, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad. A document was forwarded to you in regards to ACP Smith. And that document, we were told, was delivered to you via WhatsApp. And interestingly enough, that document contains some very serious things, including a document which states that the PCA investigated and found that this gentleman should be charged. And that document was sent to you and you did not have the courtesy to even respond. But what is even more shocking is that you found yourself seated next to this man during a press conference, even though that document was in your hand.
All right. First of all, I do not know of the document.
Sir, that document was sent to you via WhatsApp. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Commissioner. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I do not know, and I would want to, at least, if you're telling me I have a document, let me look for the document, and then we can have a conversation.
Good.
I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to deny. I honestly cannot remember having that document, and I think that we should have a cordial conversation.
Excellent. I like where you're going. I have always had the greatest respect for you. And you see now, just the way you spoke there, I have even more respect for you now. I have the greatest of respect for you. So do me, what I will do, you will get a WhatsApp message from me. You will see from Inshan Ishmael, and I will forward you my email address. If you could forward me your email address, and well, if you don't, I have ways of getting anybody number and anybody email address, because I have my people in the SSA and in Tuna. So what happens is that what I will do, we will communicate, and I'll send this back to you, and we can take it from there.
All right, sir. All right, you have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Take care, DCP. All the best. Take care.
Everybody.
All the best. Mr. Jagisa.
Approval came from Parliament for his acting appointment, you know.
Better man, you like that Zeppo I pull on you there?
Yeah, hit me one hard day, boy.
Eh?
You get through.
Better man, all I have to do is ask for a number. I just get it. Shoe size, I just get it. Richard, come. Richard Jagisa, my attorney, whom I have the greatest respect for, and I love you more than a brother, I love you like a sister, right? I want to show you something. Right. Who was that message sent to?
DCP Junior Benjamin.
When was it sent?
Friday.
What day today is?
Wednesday.
A line?
No.
What does the document contain, Mr. Jagisa?
And a double tick. A complaint dated September the 16th, 2024, which we'll pull up here. If the acting commissioner watches the show, you will see the document.
Yeah, but he will tune in now.
A complaint by Inchan Ishmael and others regarding misconduct of ACP Richard Smith.
This was also sent to, where's the woman name again?
You sent it to Suzette Martin.
Suzette Martin.
Suzette Martin.
Well, do we give she a call and find out what they're doing about it now?
And tell them.
And she's some PSB?
Yes.
Well, do we call and find out now? Here, what happening tonight is we call everybody, right? So, Zakir, you're okay with that, Mr. Jagisa?
Of course.
Yeah, just take a photo of the number. Good. Where's it, Mr. Jagisa?
Of course. In the meantime, let me show the people the letter we're talking about.
Yeah, you go now.
The September letter. The September letter makes. Nah, this is September 2022. Let's go to September 2024.
Straight on.
Right? No, a different letter entirely.
Mine is the wrong thing I sent them.
A different letter entirely. While you're getting it, just give me a notice when you get it. I wanted to remind the public that in May of 2022, a High Court judge, in the decision of Inchan Ishmael and the Attorney General, had this to say about the conduct of ACP Richard Smith. The factual matrix in this case registered with the court a sense of worry and alarm as it highlighted seemingly disturbing and unacceptable behavior by members of the police service. The behavior which this case highlighted signals the immediate and drastic changes which are required as the unearthed abuse of authority undermines the foundational tenets of a functional democracy.
Repeat that again. Abuse of authority.
Abuse of authority.
And this is a man as we sitting down at press conference, police press conference.
Who after this judgment got promoted.
And even though the letter was sent to her, she still saw it fit to promote him.
Correct.
Even though the PCA said that he should be charged.
We come into that.
Good.
It also emphasized that crisis can unfold if the police service is not sanitized and reformed so that officers are held to account when they abuse their authority. Well, lo and behold, we now have a crisis in the police service because officers were not held, and these very officers continue to do the same nonsense. 2022, a High Court judge predicted and warned of this. The rule of law depends heavily upon the impartiality, professionalism, and efficiency of a police service whose primary objective is to protect, serve, and pursue the interests of justice. Who interest they was pursuing in this witch hunt, in this manhunt? In this case, in some other cases I'm going to make reference to, in Erla case, in Brent Thomas case, we get into all of that. Right now we're dealing with ASP Smith. We'll get to everybody just now. We'll get to the one who bounced down the 14-year-old just now. Paragraph 3, the right of freedom of movement and the right person must be jealously guarded. They didn't study that line when they went on the whole Erla. When they keep Erla for almost 3 days, right? almost 2 days and change. The claimant's unjustified arrest, the claimant in this case was a man named Inshan Ishmael, by the way, but he will have a judgment just like this with the claimant.
The man in the courts.
Right,
Plenty, you know.
Yeah. His subsequent false imprisonment and common assault, which was inflicted on him on the 12th of October, cannot be condoned. All right? This comes from an unlawful arrest executed by Richard Smith. This comes from the same Richard Smith who was promoted. Justin, you have the letter yet? This court directed that this decision be forwarded together with a copy of the transcript to the Police Complaints Authority, to the DPP, and so on. And that's what we're going to get the letter to confirm. So I want to just read one more line because it connects to another decision. Paragraph 16. The apparent involvement of a senior khaki-wearing officer in the claimant's arrest on the 12th of October 2017 is a circumstance which is troubling and requires investigation. The evidence also established that the claimant's prosecution was devoid of justification. Consequently, the court hereby directs that the acting registrar of the Supreme Court shall within 14 days forward to the Commissioner of Police, who is now Junior Benjamin, so look into this, as well as the head of the Police Complaints Authority, which continues to be Mr. David West, look into this, and a copy of all documents annexed and filed, and a copy of the audio, we call it the FTR, from the trial, the court's substantive order and the assessment summary for the determination of whether disciplinary charges should be laid. A, against the senior officer is referring to Richard Smith, who wrongly arrested and falsely imprisoned Inshan Ishmael on the date, and B, the complainant who maliciously prosecuted the claimant. 2022, a judge warned us. A judge told the PCA to look into it. A judge told the DPP to look into it. A judge told the Commissioner of Police to look into it. We then go now to the case of Anzar Mohammed and Isa Ghani.
Hold on, give me 1 second, Richard.
Go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead.
Justin, I just sent the document to you, that one that Richard needs. I just sent it to you. So when you have it ready, just let me know, please. Yes, go ahead, Richard. Sorry about that.
And in the case of Anzar Mohammed and Isa Ghani, guys, I sent you the article first. Judge recording police, not a criminal offense. You could put that up for a second so they understand the context. In that case, the judge also looked at the behavior of a senior khaki-wearing officer and registered serious concern. There we go. 2017. All right, 2024 was the decision, 2017 was the arrest.
This was the one where Smith went up to Anzar and arrested him, and Anzar was nowhere wrong, and intentionally arrested him and charged him.
I'm glad you say that. You know what? Let's let the viewers, they want to say the judge this and the judge that. Let's let the viewers decide if Richard Smith had reasonable cause to arrest Isa Ghani. Guys, there's a video I sent you. I said, there's the Baraka Grounds video. Play the video.
Yeah, play the video.
Play the video.
Matrix. Right, there it is.
Here we go. I could talk over the video, right?
You could do what you want over
This is Baraka Grounds entrance and exit. The gate, as you can see, look at officers pulling up from two sides.
Such a blasted puppets.
Look at this. We're seeing 3 vehicles here on scene. Look at officers armed to the teeth. Coming up on the bottom left-hand side is a young gentleman who is recording the officers. That's all. He's not in anybody's way. He's not resisting arrest. This gentleman walking up here in khaki is Richard Smith. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that behavior.
And that is the man on press conference. That is the man that heading the extortion section of the police service.
Look, this
and
one
watch that
jumping
big
fence.
Gadaha trying to climb over and he can't climb over.
Yeah. This is the
And watch
behavior
Gadaha
of the
part 2
police.
behind him.
This is the behavior. We're going to play the video and I want to go back to Richard Smith behavior. See if we could zoom
Watch
in.
me.
We could zoom in on the video.
Watch me. I think, watch what she catching a tea, watch it.
Yeah, no, we go let the video play out. We go give them the 2 minutes of it. Oh God, this one barely touched the gate before he.
Man shaking up the camera.
At the bottom right-hand corner, there is an officer also recording.
Yep.
That video was asked for and we never got it in the court matter. What he do with that video, God alone knows. There we go. So now we're playing back the video. Saif, could we zoom in the top right-hand corner?
Is it possible? It depends on the quality of the video. We may not be able to zoom in.
If not, just go ahead and play it. Guys, oh God, Saif, you're not a ball upon me so.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Apologize him.
So look at the video, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the way Richard Smith manhandled the boy. Look at the way in which these are the officers that we promoted. These are the officers. So he goes to court. Richard Smith goes to court and this, look at it. He's just recording. That's all he's doing. He isn't obstructing. He's not pulling anybody away. He's not jostling anybody. He's not in the face of anybody. It is Richard Smith who walks closer to him. Sees, look at the hand. He snatches the phone, pelts it to the ground, shoves him, pushes him, pulls his jersey. The gentleman is not resisting at all. That's it. You could come back to me now. And Richard Smith went to court in that matter and said he was fearful for his life. He was injured or some nonsense, some ridiculousness like that. And then he was also in that matter, also referred by the judge to the PCA. Guys, I hope you got my letter now, the September 2024 letter. Let's pull that up. And that's the same letter Inchan sent to Acting Commissioner Benjamin. So let the public see all of the efforts that we are making to get these menaces off the street. So in 2022, as soon as I sent it to you earlier, Saif, if you have it, it will have my letterhead on it, blue letterhead. That might be easier to find. Now, what we're going to show you all is that in 2022, when the judge decided as he did, and in 2024, when the judge decided what he did, the PCA recommended disciplinary action.
For what?
Misbehavior in public office.
Wait, you see, the video didn't show a clear picture of who this person is. Justin, any ever picture the man, boy? Any ever picture?
Everybody did see him every, oh God.
Zoom out a little bit.
Why you go do me that, boy? Now I can't sleep and I go home.
That is the man. That is the man who's that is the man that cussed me about my mother, boy. That is the man that tell me a set of nasty and Anzar and what's the other? Issa was there in the car when this man was cussing me nasty and stink. And I watching this man appearing on press conference and playing hololo and tololo, right? And this is the man that only have their representative TTPS. Not in hell. And here what's happening. I have 60-something cameras on my compound, brother man. So here what's happening. If only think twice. We have cameras all over Baraka grounds because of people like you. Because of people like you and what you did, we put additional cameras all by the drain. Because we know what all they're capable of. Come back to me. Justin, Asanya, right, that is where you wanted, Richard?
Well, we could take it from here.
Right.
So, well, this is the PCA's acknowledgement of the letter. What I wanted to do is show the country that we actively are trying to deal with these issues. So here what? I will just read the last paragraph of the letter.
Where the next one? You have the next one, Justin? Go up.
This is the October one. This is, you have this on standby after.
Right, okay, go ahead. You're going to read something there, so keep that on standby.
All right. So in September, a formal complaint was sent to the PCA regarding ACP Smith for disorderly behavior activities that are considered prejudicial to the persons and citizens in general, insubordinate and oppressive conduct contrary to the rules and regulations of the police service, and willful neglect and inaccurate statements. This complaint to the PCA, what you saw was the acknowledgement. This complaint is what Inchan has forwarded to Acting Commissioner of Police, Junior Benjamin, who I encourage to act swiftly on this. At paragraph 11 of this complaint, it says, we accept that the decision to promote is not within the PCA's ambit. However, surely the PCA can take immediate action in these extreme and unique circumstances. Surely we all can agree that the promotion of such an officer is of great concern to the nation.
And that is the PCA?
Correct. And this is what we are telling the PCA. And we said this in September, and look at what is happening now. Look at what is happening now with these same officers.
And you expect people to have bloody trust in the police service, right?
And that is it. And that is exactly it. So let me move quickly along. To address what we asked for. We asked for an immediate suspension of ACP Smith pending the outcome of a thorough investigation. The same thing they're doing earlier now. They suspend she, send she home, whatever that means. I don't know if she's with pay or without pay.
And that is before an investigation was...
Correct.
But here it is, we have a completed investigation by the PCA.
And a recommendation to lay criminal charges, and you never...
Touch the man.
Yeah.
That is what we're talking about. Line, hook, and sinker.
Look at this nonsense. You send home Erla on a mere allegation. Nobody can even fathom what is the charge on Erla. Nobody can imagine what is the accusation against Erla. Nobody have a complaint, nothing. Nobody have a statement, nothing against
Even
Erla.
a former commissioner of police said that what she did...
Williams.
No, Griffith.
Right.
Gary Griffith said there was nothing wrong with the process and what took place. So therefore, you even have a former commissioner saying that, hey, we don't have a problem.
There we go. So you were warned. You were warned by the PCA. You were warned by the complainants in these matters to look into this, to suspend the man, to look into his appointment, and look at what has happened now. I want to move swiftly along. I run out of time. Brent Thomas is another one.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with Smith. You want to hear about Suzette Martin now? Inchan, you want to hear about Suzette Martin?
All you have that number, right? Is okay, you get him that number, right?
This is the judgment. This is the judgment by Justice Rampasad.
Call that number for me.
In the meantime, this case was decided against the officers. And we get into some details. The strong language. The state appeal, tax dollars appeal again. And I just go into the conclusion. We find no merit in the appeal. The appeal is dismissed, paragraph 70. That's all I'm going to read from the appeal. That's all. We have no merit in the appeal. We go to the judgment just now. You call in.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. ACP Suzette Martin.
Again.
Hi, how are you? Good evening. Inchan Ishmael here from IBN Channel 8, host of Breaking Barriers. I'm calling you live on my program. Just for 1 minute, ma'am. Just to confirm, a document was sent to you via my WhatsApp message. And that WhatsApp attached was regarding ACP Smith and a recommendation by the Police Complaints Authority for him to be charged. And I got no response. But look at this nasty, stinking...
Already line went dead or what? I'll pay the phone bill here. That had to be on our end fault because a public servant cannot do a citizen that. A public servant
but
such a
look at this grand Gadahana boy.
In the PSB cannot do a citizen that.
Richard, was I insultive?
No, listen.
Richard, was I raucous in any way?
Saif, check and make sure the bill paid.
Try back that number.
Come now, man. This is... Come now,
Wait,
man. The phone battery had to die.
Zoom in.
Something.
Zoom in.
Something.
I ain't seen she face. I know she did looking like train track, so. Maybe it is we get disconnected.
Well, the battery not dead, otherwise the phone wouldn't ring.
Correct. It go to voicemail. And it's a female, so it go to voice female.
Hello, good night. Hello.
She reject the call.
Inshan. This country is in a state, Inshan.
But this woman, and these are the people at the top of the police service?
Appointed, promoted, and anointed by the Rowley-led administration.
But this wasn't the same woman that bonged somebody, boy?
We get into that.
Get into it one time. Get into it one time.
Let me move speedily across. This is the judgment of Brent Thomas, April 25th, 2023.
Hell.
Suzette Martin, acting senior superintendent, dispatched a letter to the claimant's attorney advising that there was a renewed request made. I say that to say in this judgment where we say SS Martin, we refer to senior superintendent Suzette Martin, who phone battery just died, had to be in Shan.
No, I gonna send you a message that she damn shameless.
Right? She is the head of the PSB woman, senior superintendent Martin, subsequently obtained instructions from the acting commissioner of police to proceed with a warrant to search SSTC. That is Brent Thomas's business. All right? So she gets a warrant.
Shameless.
You calling back?
No, I just telling
send a message.
Shameless and disgusting.
Right, let's move on. All right, receiving information from SS Martin of the PSB on October the 4th, the first claimant was in Barbados with the intention to go Greece. ASP Birch said that he tried to contact the first claimant, which is Brent Thomas, through his attorney without success until he received information from Martin that the gentleman was in Barbados. Martin had information that he was in Barbados. Let's go on swiftly across. Let's go on. ASP Birch said in this regard was that he boarded a plane at Piaco on the evening of October the 5th, along with Martin and Corporal Jofield to Barbados.
The same Suzette Martin who hung up on with it just now?
Correct. So she lead it. The point I'm making, I'm trying to make it very quickly. She's critical. She's the one who give the information here in Barbados. She's the one who bought the plane with these other officers, Jofield and Birch, to go Barbados. How much ever money we pay as tax dollars for that flight and so on, we'll get to that in a minute.
What PSB stand for? Not Professional Standard Bureau?
Correct.
And if that is a representation of professional?
I'll get into that point. If that is the PSB, how you expect them to hold officers accountable?
No, you might as well have a set up potong there.
Blind leading the blind, ugly leading the ugly. Let's get on with it quickly. Paragraph 128.
Shots fired.
Martin dispatched a letter to the claimant's attorney advising that there was a renewed request made for the attendance of Thomas, and in the event that no response was received, lawful options would be explored. All right? So she's critical. The point I'm making here is that she's critical in the investigation and the detention of Brent Thomas. And let's go straight to what that detention resulted in. Paragraph 139 of the judgment. The first claimant was abducted, not arrested, not detained, abducted unlawfully in Barbados and returned to Trinidad in the custody of SS Martin. In the custody of SS Martin. That is an uncontroversial fact. How would the judge say? All right, that's SS Martin for you. So this, what she do earlier, she's done in the past. That's the point I'm making here. But let's get on to what the judge said. Paragraph 169. Words cannot express. Words cannot express the abhorrence, that the court feels towards the unlawful act in a supposed civilian society, civilized society, governed by a constitution in which the freedoms of the citizens are supposed to be protected. Imagine that. A judge is saying S.S. Martin did this thing which is not supposed to happen in civilized society. That's what the man's saying. That's what the judge's saying. He goes on to say, S.S. Martin, along with others, he names the other officers, certainly would have known when they flew out of Trinidad that they were going to recover Brent Thomas, who was detained in Barbados, without any charges pending against him, without any offense having committed by him in Barbados. The sole reason for his detention in Barbados, therefore, would obviously have been for him to be deprived of his liberty. That's all they care about. Depriving people of their liberties. They arrest you, they detain you, high, low, citizen, doesn't matter. They holding you, boy. They holding you, they're locking you up. They don't care. You know why? They're not being held accountable. They're getting promoted. PCA recommending disciplinary charges. DPP being asked by the court to look into the matter. Them getting promoted. Who had to pay? The taxpayers. Who had to suffer? The taxpayers. Who afraid every time they see a police van pass? Today might be the day they hold man, lock him up without cause. Today might be the day they hold him up and detain me and breach my rights to liberty without cause. That's what the judge saying, you know. That's what the judge saying. They obviously had no jurisdiction to detain the claimant in Barbados. That's what the judge saying, you know. Let me go on again.
Remember, not everybody lucky to bong somebody. And you're easy like squeezy, you know.
We'll get to that just now. I had to skip past a paragraph.
I'm rushing you there, sorry.
I'm watching the time. I'm losing time.
No, that's why he's staying quiet.
Look at this. Paragraph 225, S.S. Martin has not faced any sanctions. The judge was recommending sanctions. The judge saying what it is going on here. Look at this. She has not faced any sanctions for their clearly and admittedly unlawful acts as police officers. And after this, she was allowed to continue in the police service. She was never suspended. She was never sent home with or without pay. She was never replaced. Or they had to replace the woman phone or she charged her, because that's what happened just now, not sitting right. She is allowed to collect tax-paying dollars as a salary. And judge talking about this nonsense. Look at the behavior. Look at this. The fact that ACP Birch not only returned to Trinidad with the first claimant, but was allowed to continue what seems to have been an oppressive pursuit of Brent Thomas by following up on 2 other search warrants issued in an excessively broad manner, that they were taking up everything in plain sight, speakers volumes for the level of oppression and harassment to the claimant. It's not just Inshan. It's not just Issa Ghani and Anzar Mohammed. It's not just Brent Thomas. It's not just Erla. It's everybody. And this is the behavior of the TTPS under the Rowley-led administration. Look at judges upon judges recommending disciplinary action. Judges and decisions recommending. Look at this. This is more than just the court being unhappy with the behavior of the police. When looked at in the round, this was a complete and utter stripping away of Brent Thomas's dignity and reputation.
Correct.
Look at the language there. And of course, he refers to it as an abduction.
But let me ask you a question. Like, for example, a judge who is well-known and serious and handles some of the bigger cases in Trinidad and Tobago, Frank C. Prasad, when he makes a recommendation, like, for example, for the khaki-wearing officer to be investigated.
The senior khaki-wearing officer.
And nothing is done. What could we do?
Well, we've sent 2 follow-up complaints, not so? And what we should do is we should file an FOIA to find out the status of any ongoing investigation, pending action or determination or otherwise.
But this matter should not reach the Police Service Commission as well?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And we'll get, in this one, I think a recommendation was made to the Police Service Commission. But yes, absolutely correct, because they are the ones who promoted Smith, you know. They are the ones who recommended the gentleman.
But isn't it fact, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. The police service, they're the investigative authority in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
When it comes to crime and criminal conduct and all those things.
Yes.
And if the police service want to hire you, they will do a background check to make sure Richard is not a dog thief, etc., etc.
Correct.
So you telling me that the police service have access to the police complaints authority, to the PSB, to all of them. No groundwork was done, or no proper groundwork was done to make sure that this man doesn't have anything to hold back, you know, from him being promoted. You telling me that the investigative ability that they have was flat on the ground and fell apart because at the end of the day, this man fell through the cracks? Or somebody is protecting somebody?
Agreed.
Which one is it?
Agreed. And we have to ask these questions because similarly, charges were dropped recently, you know, against another officer. Charges were laid and dropped recently against the same Suzette Martin. So who is protecting who? It certainly is not, based on these judgments, not these senior officers protecting life and liberty, you know. Not life and liberty of us, the citizens. All right, I have 2 more points to make on this judgment, and then we'll go. Guys, you could queue up the article with Suzette Martin, the recent one. The second to last point I wish to make is the arrest and detention and forcible abduction and removal of Brent Thomas from the jurisdiction of Barbados to this country at the behest of the state of Trinidad and Tobago, acting through its servants and or agents, meaning the officers, was grossly abusive, unconstitutional, unlawful, unnecessary, disproportionate, and in particular contravene the gentleman's constitutional rights. And this is the person in charge of Professional Standards Bureau. Yeah? Last point I want to make is constitutional relief is granted. So the point here is that it costs us, you know. When these officers do nonsense, it costs us money. Constitutional relief is granted, including damages for breach of the claimant's constitutional rights, hereinbefore set out, including but limited to vindictory and exemplary damages. Look at that. Look at that. This is the amount of, there's a dollar value to the negligence. There's a dollar value that these officers don't pay. There's a dollar value that the Police Complaints Authority does not pay. There's a dollar value that Professional Standards Bureau does not pay. There's a dollar value that we as taxpayers pay for their negligence, for their ridiculousness. This is Suzette Martin in the Brent Thomas, what I call fiasco. All right? Arresting people, depriving them of their constitutional rights, liberties, and so on. Let's go to the article recently where she was charged with a certain offense. There are certain videos that were circulating on social media, CCTV camera footage and so on.
Richard, I don't know if you're aware, but in my matter that Richard Smith and Sergeant Mohammed was involved in, where I was set up and all that drama, right? An officer was asked to investigate. Her name was Joseph.
Hodge.
No, Joseph.
Joseph.
Right? WPC Joseph. She called me and I was questioned. And she herself started to laugh because she said there's nothing here. And she put in a report that she found nothing. And the seniors decided, well, no, we don't want you again. So they called Andy Mohammed to do their nasty work. And this is where my silver phone, imagine the testimony of the people who was involved in my matter on the opposite side who accused me of pulling a gun. They said I had in my hand a silver rectangular object with a light on it. You tell me which court could say that is a gun?
None.
And that is what Smith and them promoted. That is what Smith and them come on the land and try to insult and denigrate and try to grab me by my neck and all kind of drama. And this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, all we want is what is right, because you know what's happening? Richard pointing out one after the other what it is we really have at the top, boy. What it is we really have at the top. Right? We have one of them putting on a bulletproof vest and he giving sermon. A bulletproof vest for a sermon. But anyway, right, like I said, I never had no problems with DCP Benjamin. I have always had respect for him in the past. It's just some of the lies he just tell with some of the statistics. But at the end of the day, I will hold him to his word. I will forward that document again. Again, I will also sell it to the Police Service Commission tomorrow. And I want to ask a question. The same officer we're talking about, if he was involved with a bar located, what is that area in the back there by Sunshine? Snacks on the off the highway there, Warren?
Yeah, that's just off Monroe Road.
Right? Warren on the opposite side, let us call that on the western side. Was he involved with a bar? Where did the income of that bar go? Who used to collect the money from that bar? Was the money and the profits declared? Was taxes paid on that? Next week I will give you the answer. Because we have people digging up, getting the name, who was in charge. Because here what's happening. At the end of the day, we don't back down.
Agreed.
That is how we just operate. Richard,
agreed.
We need to take our second break.
Yes.
My dear friends, you're watching Breaking Barriers right here on IBN Channel 8. Like I said before, Nazim is a bit under the weather. What happened is that because of menopause, so therefore what happened is that he will join us here next week, God willing. Right? We wish him a speedy recovery. I'm Inchan Ishmael, well, your co-host, because Richard is a big Sawati in this program. I just come to join him now and then, right? He's a real big Sawati. Just a reminder that our expo takes place, the flea market that we have, Ramadan, from the 21st to the 23rd. This is the biggest one we have ever had, over 100 tents booked. So Richard, you normally come and line manding with you and the family. So we look forward to seeing you, having some good food. Right? So remember, do not miss out. This is a big one. And then secondly, as I told you before, what happened is that because of a project that we're doing, we brought in a container of air conditioning units. And we have extra units which we are selling out at cost. For those of you who are interested, you can contact me on my cell number 684-4762. That's 684-4762. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll continue right here on Breaking Barriers. We'll be back.
Introducing the finest selection from Premium Deli and Meats. Savor the bold flavors of beef salami, beef pepperoni, and chicken ham. Indulge in our diced beef bacon and perfectly sliced beef bacon. Explore the rich taste of smoked beef and tender roast beef. Treat yourself to our juicy jumbo chicken hot dogs and beef hot dogs. Top it all off with the delicate flavors of smoked turkey breast and our premium whole turkey, all halal certified for your trust. Delivered to you by Chill Foods, Premium Deli and Meats, excellence in every bite.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose, and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg, and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronex Premium Quality.
And welcome back, my friends. I just want to show you something. I want to show you what Wastage is about. Take a look at this video. This is not my video. This was put up on Facebook.
Bad boys, bad boys.
It has wasted in assets. Look at this.
All you're seeing everything, right? From SUV to panel van to look $1 million vehicle, right? Boss, what's the amount of boss in the background, Richard? What's the amount of those? You see those? Pause.
Daddy one day whole year?
Pause.
By Guardian Building and how one of
You see, right. You know, we were the ones that used to repair all those mobile units.
Correct.
And Gibbs and them came personally and inspected, and they said that the repairs was done to the best that they have ever seen. Our company was one of the largest, but because of racism, and because of me speaking out, our company was cut out. And the amount of millions we used to save the police service, this is what you're seeing there now. All those vehicles could have been auctioned out. Billions of dollars earned for the trying to go police service. But you see, when you have a set of donkey, when you have a set of idiots who prefer to leave things to rot, because this, they can't think beyond what they know. I mean, you end up getting like, what you're getting. Right now, many of the people who are involved in repairs, some of them have people smoking ganja in their vehicles, police vehicles. Police vehicles being used in the night without permission of the police service by private garages. And I know that as a fact. And not only that, some of these same fellas I'm giving some of these big Sawatini police service, big kickback every week. But you see, that is how things roll. Because in Trinidad, you cannot tell the difference between the criminal and the police. Remember, it had a senior police with a Venezuelan woman wearing on a top. Right? And they say she was a prostitute. God knows what she was. And all of a sudden, that went under the carpet. Nobody was charged. Nobody was suspended. A woman showing all she thought standing in the man's office. Right? And wearing a uniform. And nothing ever came out of that. Nothing ever came out. And then when we was protesting for Palestine in the savannah, he come with his doted self, trying to play Bajon. And these are the same fellas that we must have respect for. Like I tell you, and I've said it before, I am an upholder of the law. But the day somebody come again from the police service to grab my neck, let me tell you something. Tell your family, prepare for burial. I'm not going to allow anybody to do me that again unjustly, because see, when my life is being threatened, I ain't go back down this time. This time I'm going for the jugular. Because at the end of the day, if my life is being threatened, by law, I am allowed to protect my life and limb. That is the reality. Richard, is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
Good.
Reasonable force in the defense, man. As a person, I promote stand your ground legislation, FUL granting, and so on. Come now, man. This is the police service. We had to fend for ourselves. Now, there's one other point I want to make. Short on time, so let's just get the article up. There we go. Dangerous driving charges dropped against DCP Suzette Martin.
What?
When was this? This was in December. This was just in December. Could it be, come back to me, could it be, I think you also have the FUL permit as well. Let's look at the date on that permit. I think there's an express watermark on it, if you can't find it. The date on that document, and there we go, look at this. This is the permit. October, look at this. October 10th, 2023, expiring October 10, 2024. Could it be that when this permit was coming up for renewal in October, that is how they knew, that is how certain people knew not to continue any charges on Martin, because Martin had things to do against Erla. The dates seem very close to me. So that's one point I want to make. So the charges against her were dropped. And I say that and I let all of y'all draw your inferences. And the truth is, I think what we've shown here tonight is that officer after officer after officer, officer after officer after officer has been asked by the court, to be disciplined, has been asked by the court, PCA has been asked by the court to look into them and suspend them. Nobody asked the PCA, nobody asked the Commissioner of Police, nobody asked anybody to suspend poor Erla, you know. What Erla is experiencing now is the same thing the regular citizens have been experiencing all the time with these officers. What Erla is experiencing now is what Injan has experienced 8 times already. Where Brent Thomas has experienced, and so many others. Isa Ghani, Ansar Mohammed, to name a few.
Partner, 36 officers had come to arrest me, you know.
Like 3 busload, you know.
36 officers, you know, brothers. I am Inshan, you know, I've been Inshan. You know, that is me. I am a terrorist. But they wouldn't go after the criminals like that.
Absolutely correct.
But glad, let them fear me a little bit. They have a reason to fear me, don't worry.
And in each one of these cases, it costs the taxpayer. The blunders of these officers cost the taxpayer. And we now call upon the new Commissioner of Police acting to investigate and take immediate action. You want to suspend Erla pending investigation? Suspend Smith pending investigation. Suspend Martin pending investigation. Come now, man. Grow up. Have some testicular fortitude. PCA, act. DPP, act. Commissioner of Police acting. Time for you to act. Look at this nonsense going on in this country. Put country first. I could go on and on and on in the articles. Stop the fronting and the fronting. While the murders increase and the kidnapping increase, all you're promoting these people who the court saying not good? What nonsense is that? While murders increasing and kidnapping, we in a state of emergency and only arrest the Commissioner of Police? In a state of emergency? Only arrest the Commissioner? Is that a coup? Is that a coup d'etat against the Commissioner? What mad? And then Rowley stands up and says, he had nothing to do with it. It is you put them there. Who put them there? Me? I stand up in Parliament and put them there?
Santa Claus.
Who put them there? Blood flowing in this country. Murders increasing in this country. So much so that you had to call a state of emergency. People being murdered. Crime at its peak. Crime at the highest it's been in so long. People crying out for help. And these are the people you promoting? And you suspend Erla? These are the people you should be suspending. The people the court say suspend. The people PCA say suspend. The people the court tell the DPP to look into misbehavior in public office and so on. Look at this nonsense. Look at this nonsense. Who driving car, knock down people and walking free and then turn around and arresting other people? Come now, man, country. Wake up. Wake up. We here because of a failed administration. We're here because Rowley has lost control of the country. He put Erla there. We all remember the court case. We all remember the court case that went all the way to the Privy Council where the opposition asked for Erla's extension to be rescinded. We all remember that court. Who asked the extension time? Me? Inshan? No, it's Rowley asked for that. Who appoints she? Who removed Gary Griffith to appoint she? It went straight from Griffith to Erla, correct? Yes. Who removed Gary Griffith to appoint Erla? Me? Who increased his salary last month? Me? Well, December. Come na man, country. Come na man. Come na man. At the end of the day, Erla and her legal team will very well bring a case for malicious prosecution and false imprisonment. At the end of this fiasco, and it don't matter where Rowley is, if he in retirement, if he playing golf, if he mining goat in Tobago, it don't matter where he is. The people that will have to suffer and pay the bill is us, the taxpayers. It is time that we put an end to this. It is time that we call on the PCA to act Have some teeth. It is time that we ask the DPP to act. Have some teeth. It is time that we put the pressure on the administration of the day. This friending. Inchan mentioned it earlier. Who protecting who? This nonsense has to stop. This ridiculousness has to stop. Where have you ever heard in the world, in a civilized society, a country that has a written constitution, where have you ever heard that in a state of emergency, you arrest and detain the commissioner of police? Don't lay any charges and then send you home and appoint somebody else.
That is the height of madness.
You understand where we're reaching, Chan?
That is a recipe. Ola is going to be given over $1 million easy squeezy there. Easy squeezy, because that is her reputation down the drain.
Her reputation, general damages. We don't know if she sent home. I don't know if she sent home now with pay or without pay. If it's without pay, when she bring the case and she win, she will get all the money that she was supposed to get. Any exemplary damages? Come now, man. And we taking that? Stuart Young, who always want to talk for everybody, minister extraordinaire, always in everybody ministry. He titled so long it need a page for itself. You have to buy a 50-inch extra TV just to hold his title. Are we taking that? Ridiculousness, nonsense. And it is time that the force and pressure be put on the government in parliament and outside and pressure them to call our election now. Because this nonsense has to stop. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is dotishness. This is foolishness. And you have a prime minister who just like gloating. It's not me. It's who it is.
I saw a document which showed allegedly that Petrojam is partially owned by a Venezuelan company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how authentic that document is. But that would not augur well, because you already have the orange-haired donkey, which is Trump.
Who has warned people.
Who put in sanctions left, right, and center.
Correct.
So Trinidad and Tobago now continuing to deal with Venezuela and Venezuelan companies. What may happen to Trinidad and Tobago where that is
Sanctions
concerned?
left, right, and center. And we don't learn.
Richard, I think we need to make it clear that Petrotrin should not be sold under any circumstance.
Imagine how you could be making oil, close down the oil to buy oil, and spending more to buy than you was costing to make. What stupidness is that? That making any sense? You close down Petrotrin to go and buy oil from Petrojam. What stupidness is that?
And then again, the name Petrojam is one of the most dotish names for an oil company. I mean, who would even think a name in the company Petrojam? And then we have a partner talking about Jamaica. You see where a partner bad talk with doubles by?
You know.
Beanie Man by?
You know, I ban all my staff from listening to Beanie Man. That is a day.
You ban him by? The man say that not even me dog look the man day. It doubles nice, but once I threw it to the dog and the dog didn't eat it. Dogs, I wonder if dogs eat ganja too, right?
One time I play Beanie Man song and the dogs had to play dead.
Hear what you say now. No, but these fellas should know we don't mess with the food, you know.
Yeah, and we culture.
Yeah.
And we culture.
I see somebody post up what? Some doubles they buy this evening, red cap doubles, $8 because it's close to the airport. It in the airport, close to the airport. I say, hi, happy for them. But at the end of the day, here what happening now? And I always tell people, listen, Richard, partner, if you don't like something, I don't have a problem with that. That is your taste.
Your taste.
But you see, when you want to go down to the level of talking about your dog and you don't want to eat it, that is trying to insult you. Because quite frankly, you can't come and play insulting, you know, or one of our national dishes here. We got jam, you're good. Richard, we out of time?
We out of time, and I ain't finished licks everybody, boy. Cut it short. We even take no calls.
And you can't tell me I ain't give you time tonight.
Nah, you give me real time, boy.
I tell you, I rock back and I say, you know, I owe you from last week.
I could start to do like Abraham Lincoln and them and go out in the street corner and start a speech, you know.
Nothing wrong with that. It's an election period now, so they're going to allow you, they'll give you a license with mic and right? But your final words, my brother.
This foolishness, this friend thing in the TTPS needs to come to an end. It is affecting not only our pockets in the public, from the public purse, it is affecting our life, our liberty, our ability to feel safe. Our ability to feel safe. You don't know when a TTPS van pass you, if today is the day they go hold you and lock you up, and them care, you know. Them getting promoted when them do it, boy. Them getting more money when they do it, boy. This is absolutely ridiculous in a civilized society, a democratic society, and it must come to an end. So I say, at the end of the day, the DPP, the PCA, the Police Service Commission, and those in Parliament, the Ministry of National Security and so on, time to grow some balls. Get some testicular fortitude. Act. Do what is right. Suspend the officers who need to be suspended. Investigate the officers who need to be investigated. And do that now. Do that immediately. And maybe there will be mercy for you when you reach heaven.
My dear friends, this is where we have to bring the program to an end. Let me just thank Commissioner Benjamin for taking my call tonight, and of course for promising to look at the document that we sent before. And of course to Suzette Martin, who abruptly hung up on us.
She battery dead.
Yeah, the battery probably dead. And who has in her possession documents, and she is a representative of the PSB. Maybe it is we need to write a complaint, against the PSB. And, I had sent the document to the legal person at the TTPS, to Zahir Mohammed. And, I was hoping that Zahir Mohammed would have done something or acted. And this is the problem. The problem is that within the police service, there's a lot of protection. This one protecting that one protecting the other. But at the end of the day, time longer than twine. Anyway, folks, this is where we have to end it off. I want to thank you so much for viewing. Remember this program. There's a repeat of this program on Saturdays at 9 p.m. I would, of course, like to thank Richard Jagasar, my co-host here, for, of course, keeping the fire burning. And for those who were in our studio audience here, I would just like to thank them. And, of course, to the ladies who prepped this afternoon. I don't know if Annie is there, but one is that, Richard, how long you ever eat tomato choker with bake?
I love tomato choker with bake. If a woman could cook that for me, I'm married, she no.
Nah, the woman who cook it, she don't marry. I moved the wife. And then they tell me Edos with saltfish.
Right.
And fried plantain.
Now you're talking.
That is what we're talking about. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up the program now and we're going to follow Billy. Anyway, folks, thank you so much. God bless you. And, of course, looking forward to seeing you next week's Wednesday on Breaking Barriers, hosted on Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, live on IBN channel. Assalamu alaikum and good evening.
Clear?